Old friends or just political allies? It matters not for Volodymyr Zelenskyy, arriving in Paris on Thursday for the second day of meetings with European leaders hosted by Emmanuel Macron. Here is where Ukraine's support lies, at a time when friends are more important than ever. This was the third summit of what the UK and France have called the Coalition of the Willing, in addition to the leaders of both countries also attending with the Polish and Italian Prime Ministers, the head of NATO and the Turkish Vice President. At question here were US suggestions for a ceasefire that is struggling to halt fighting. That ceasefire has proposed pausing hostilities in the Black Sea in exchange for easing sanctions on Russia, something European leaders on Thursday rejected.
Now is not the time for lifting of sanctions. Quite the contrary, what we discussed is how we can increase sanctions to support the US initiative to bring Russia to the table through further pressure from this group of countries.
We've seen how the negotiations have gone so far, and that Russia has always added something afterwards. This shows very clearly that Russia is currently not interested in real peace.
Speaking after the meeting, Zelenskyy said the US should be stronger in its negotiations with Moscow and added that Washington was further complicating talks by repeatedly changing a mooted mineral deal with Kiev.
The solutions that America can demonstrate today can really have an impact on stopping the war, on stopping Putin's desire.
Large drone attacks were launched on Ukrainian cities overnight, including the Kharkiv region, where at least 21 people were injured. The US claimed last week to have reached an agreement with both Kiev and Moscow to halt strikes on energy infrastructure. Both sides have accused each other of still doing so. In the aftermath of the attacks, locals said trust in Russian commitment to a ceasefire was all but impossible.
Do I believe them? No one believes them. They do not do anything they say they will. Were they allowed to attack us in the first place? They just erase Ukrainians. That's what they do.
In an interview with French television broadcast late on Wednesday, Zelenskyy said he believed Vladimir Putin would die soon and claimed that the Russian president was afraid of his own people and of losing power. Despite the show of support in Paris, however, there are still likely to be fears among Europe's leaders over the uncertainty of what comes next in this war. Flynn, TRT World.